What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the After Credits Scene. We are talking predictions and forecasts for episode 5 of She-Hulk. Please, before you do anything, like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so when we drop new content, you'll be the first one to know about it, and then share this sucker all across the multiverse. So we had not really some big developments at all in episode 4, although it was a really great episode. Wong and Madison were excellent. There was some misdirection there with Johnny Blaze, and a lot of fans on Twitter are kind of frustrated about that. I never thought it was going to be Johnny Blaze. I never thought it was going to have any kind of Ghost Rider reference, but here we are. We got some Titania references at the end of the episode, so my predictions for episode 4 weren't totally off, although Titania actually being in the episode, other than just some mentions at the end and leading into episode 5, were pretty sparse. 100% here that we're going to have the She-Hulk versus Titania Incorporated showdown here, a legal battle here. We got some of those scenes in the mid-season trailer along with a lot of Daredevil references, which we'll talk about later. But as far as the storyline is concerned, in order to keep a consistent thread here, they obviously can't skip over that from a storytelling perspective. They're going to have to jump right into that. And that's what they ended with when it came to the final scenes of the episode. So Titania is suing She-Hulk for, Titania copyrighted the name She-Hulk, and Jen never had a reason to because it was just what she got called. And so I'm willing to bet this case is pretty open and shut. I'm not a legal expert by any means at all, but the news media is the one that coined her She-Hulk. Jen is not walking around making money off of the name She-Hulk unless somewhere in the law firm they're actually calling her that or something like that. So I'm willing to bet it's a lot of formality for the most part, and it really plays into Titania's social influencer role. So I think with the court case coming, Titania's going to be there for sure. There were some other scenes in the mid-season trailer of what looked like a wedding or something like that Jen is showing up to, Titania is at. They're both dressed very similar, so I really didn't know exactly what to make of that. It would be odd that they were both invited to the same wedding, although I guess you're writing your own story, you can come up with anything you want to. But all that to be said, these are the only two things that they really teased in the last episode that are really coming. I think it's too soon for Daredevil. There's no connection there yet, and they showed you a lot of things, some obscure comic book characters, taking off from a parking lot. I'm guessing we'll see the Wrecking Crew again at some point, but these are the only two things that are, they've really got to happen. They told you they were coming, and they showed you a few scenes in the mid-season trailer about Titania. She's been missing in person for a couple episodes, even though she's kind of in the background and something's going on. So whatever that is, however she's going to pop up, episode 5 for sure, and it's got to lead into something else. I say that because it's got to lead into something else. I'm not saying I'm bored. I'm not. I love the show. It's a lot of fun. It's goofy. I think all the haters out there that are saying, well, it's just not Marvel, and it's not serious, and it's not, whatever. They're introducing new characters. They're bringing in new things. They've got fresh looks. Marvel is allowed to change their look if they want to, but they haven't. And there's a whole lot of fun to be had in this show, and I think it's cool that Marvel can just kind of do what they want to do, and they've got a fan base that's going to be interested in it. And if you're not, there's something else out there for you. But having said that, they've got to move in the story. The plot has to go somewhere in episode 5. Some big developments have to happen. Something has to blow up here at the court case, or something has to happen in the B-side story for this to move forward into episodes 6, 7, 8, and 9. If they don't, this episode and the next episode potentially too could be the show could kind of fizzle out. It could lose some of its momentum. The only momentum it's really got right now is some of the cameos, and the last episode is really getting talked about because of the relationship between Madison and Wong, and that was a lot of fun, but it's going to get a little gimmicky if they don't actually give you a story. There's got to be something there that connects those things. Even procedural TV shows have an undercurrent of character development that moves the whole story and the character arc forward. If they don't do that in this episode, you've gotten 5 episodes in, this episode has the potential to really fizzle out. Or they could introduce something else after this that explodes it and takes it in a totally different direction that they've been building towards that you didn't see coming. I think bringing back Abomination could be one of those things, but I think it's going to happen in some of these B-side problems. I'm 100% sure that they're going to have some B-plot going on, whether it's another court case, whether it's something with Blonsky, something outside of the scope of Jen actually being in court here that moves some of the story forwards. Because this Titania and She-Hulk thing is going to take front, it's going to take precedent. It's going to be the front and center thing going on. So you got to have some other stuff going on here. Blonsky and Abomination were in the mid-season trailer, and there were some other trailers that show Blonsky turning back into Abomination, Titania kind of crashing some kind of yoga retreat or something that Blonsky's got going on. I think if they're just using what they've already used thus far, Blonsky pops back up in this episode near the end or in the middle, and that's how some of this stuff moves forward. Again, right now, I'm having to rely on Easter eggs. I'm having to rely on these little bitty plot points and these little things that they've thrown in there to kind of check for threads and see kind of what's coming. Obviously, this episode, the next, and the last episode got lost pretty quick with all the D23 announcements, and we'll talk about some of that in our episode 5 review and in some TikTok posts as well, because there were a lot of new trailers that posted and a lot of other information that might lend some theory cred to what's going on in this show. Having said that, the mid-season trailer was full of Matt Murdock and Daredevil, but Charlie Cox has said that he only appears in 1 episode. Maybe I could see them playing fast and loose with that by saying, well, Daredevil only appears in 1 episode. Matt Murdock appears in a couple. If it's all in 1 episode, it's definitely not happening in episode 5. That's my theory. I'm pretty confident in that. And so I think episode 6 at most, probably episode 7, because they're going to need the last 2 episodes to wrap up whatever storyline or whatever they're playing towards. So 6 and 7 is our best chance there. I would guess an after credit scene at most in this episode, but probably somewhere in episode 6, and then episode 7 is your Daredevil episode. I think they're going to give you an after credit scene where Matt Murdock or Daredevil pop up, because they're going to want to build as much momentum and as much social media buzz about Daredevil popping up as they possibly can. And having an after credit scene is a really great way to do that. So watch for the Easter eggs. We're on Daredevil watch. As soon as he pops up, I'm going to lose my ever-loving mind, and you guys are probably going to want to tune in to see me go crazy about Matt Murdock and Daredevil being in the MCU more prominently than just a quick cameo in the Spider-Man movie. So tell us what you think. The Titania stuff is for sure coming. They're on some dangerous ground here, but I think there's a whole lot of potential for where they could go. And I'm still enjoying the show. It's funny, it's silly, and all the different things that they're able to do still really speaks to the quality of the writing. If you found anything or saw something that we didn't see, share it in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Share this thing all across the multiverse, because we're driving towards 200 subscribers. And check out some of our other content over here. We got a ton of things you can sink your teeth into. And as always, when the next one drops, guys, we'll catch you right back here. Later.